So we're outside of hydro today. We had the bright idea to talk about lights since our days are getting so, yeah, I've delivered that pun a couple times now. It's less funny than it was the first time. So we're going to talk about lights because our days are getting short and our plants are going to need it.
Yes,
so, yeah.
And we need it.
And we do.
I want more.
So why do plants need light, Amanda?
Oh, I was going to ask you the same question, actually.
All right.
Oh,
well,
you go for it.
Okay. So plants need light to create energy.
Okay.
Really, when it boils right down to it. Yeah. We talk about light as a visual thing because we're visual creatures. That's pretty normal. But what light actually is just a very narrow part of a very broad spectrum of electromagnetic energy.
Okay.
So yeah, the plants will use that energy from certain wavelengths, which light is measured in, to make chlorophyll and do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So what do we have in front of us here? I see there's a couple different types of light bulbs.
Yes.
So lighting systems.
There is, and they all sort of deliver different things for different stuff.
Okay.
Plants need, color matters to plants.
Okay.
So you have, if you think about a growing season, you have a plant in the ground, and early in the season, you're getting lots of blue light because the sun is high in the sky, it's getting a good angle, it's all coming down, the days are longer, and you know, like midday is quite white in light-ish.
So it's like high intensity lighting in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, exactly. As the season progresses and you have plants that are trying to put on fruit and flower, the sun is lower in the sky and we're getting a lot more of the red light from the sun. And that's usually what triggers a plant to say, ooh, the season's ending, let's put on our flowers.
Stress out a little bit and think it's dying, so it wants to reproduce, which is flowers, buds, tomatoes, fruits, vegetables, all that stuff.
Precisely. So, yeah, color matters to plants. They appear green to us because they're reflecting back most of the green and yellow spectrum of light. Okay. Which means that leaves, if you think about a prism, if you've got your rainbow, you take out the yellows and the greens, you're left with reds and blues. Okay. So that's what your plant is using most
absorbing.
of. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it uses to drive all its processes.
And that's why this light here, I see it's actually got red and blue lights on it.
Yeah. This is an LED, and LED is very targeted to what a plant needs. Okay. Which is one of its benefits, but we'll get to that. Yeah. So there's different types of light available. Okay. Yes.
So I was wondering, so if I'm going to start a plant from seed, do I need a different light when I'm starting the seed or cutting versus, during the vegetation stage, or how does...
Not really. No. From starting a seed or a tray of clones, you need the same kind of light. It's the bluer type of light, or like a cool white, as they'd call it. Those are, a really nice full spectrum kind of light is what they want.
Is that these ones here give you that?
Absolutely. These are your compact fluorescent lights. Really great for just adding some supplemental lights at this time of year for your low light house plants, like your tropicals that are just, give me a little bit more. Yeah. You've got your low wattage CFLs. The 13 watt, 26 watt. There's also a 55 watt. They just screw into a regular light socket. You can put them in any old lamp. Keep them about 8 to 10 inches away, 12 depending on the plant. Okay. And yeah, that'll be enough to just get them through and be really happy.
Get them through until the spring.
Absolutely.
But this one does not look like it fits in a regular socket.
It does not. Okay. No. You do need the larger wattage CFLs come in like 125s and 200s. Okay. They're gonna require a special socket, but it's inexpensive. It's like $20 or $24 or something like that.
We have all that stuff here?
Sure do.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Isn't that convenient? So you just plug that in, and this 125 this will light up a lot of stuff. Nice. You could start a tray of clones or seedlings or seeds or anything like that. This would light them up real nice. You also have these T5s, they're called. They come in different lengths. There's 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot that we have. You can also get them shorter. They are a high output bulb. They do great for starting seeds. They're nice for under counter lighting if you want to do microgreens or sprouts or something like that. Yep. And they produce a really nice spectrum with a lot of blue, but enough red to keep everybody balanced and happy.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so that's CFLs in a nutshell. Good. There's also high intensity lighting or gas discharge lighting. Your HPS bulbs, high pressure sodium metal halide. There's also ceramic metal halide now, which is sort of newer, but kind of cool because it produces light really efficiently. So it uses less wattage out of your wall to create the same amount of light with less heat.
Okay.
Yeah, so
these ones give off heat?
They do,
okay.
Yes. The high intensity discharge, they do a lot, they do produce quite a bit of heat. Of course, the higher the wattage, the hotter the bulb, and you'll have to be able to pull it away from the plants.
Yeah.
But you're not going to use these really unless you are going to, do some pretty active gardening in your home, which is great because this time of year tomatoes taste awful or like nothing. So you can grow your own tasty tomatoes with a nice 400 watt. If you just want to do 1 or 2 plants, you're good to go.
Good to go with those. Okay, cool.
If you want to grow something that's a little more intense, like cannabis or something, we would suggest, if this is the way you want to go, to a 600 watt or 1,000 watt if you have the clearance, because you do have to get that far away, like overhead clearance.
Because it's going to give off so much heat that can be a bad thing.
Yeah. Heat stress is bad.
Yeah.
So speaking of heat stress, that's one of the nice things about LEDs. They produce a lot of light with not much heat. So they're really good if you have a warmer spot, like in the summer months, if you want to still try and grow things inside. That's nice. They shine from there, really.
Yeah.
They're really good for, enclosed spaces. They're good for inside grow tents. They're really nice because heat can build up really, really quick in a grow tent.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. They will draw roughly half the power of the comparable HID.
Oh, wow, really?
Roughly. They're all going to vary, and they're sort of all over the board.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at them and trying to compare them online, they often use wattage, but that's misleading and inaccurate. You need to really look at how much electricity it's drawing out of your wall. If it's only drawing like 120 watts or something like that, it is just not a powerful light. There's nothing inside that light that amps it up to make it better. It's a good one if you want to replace like a 600 watt or something like that. It's got to draw at least 400 watts out of your wall. Okay. Currently, how the technology works.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So much cooler. Last forever. Like you never have to replace a bulb or anything.
These ones
like
you'll
that.
have to replace, but this one
will
stay for quite a while.
Yep, this one you're probably going to end up replacing, I suggest, every couple of crops.
Okay.
Depending, of course, on how long.
What the crop is.
Yeah, exactly, and how long it takes to finish its cycle. So.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
So, in a nutshell, these are your different types of LED not just LED grow lighting. Different types of grow lighting.
All types of grow lighting. And we've probably got a bunch more in there too. It's not like we have the full selection out here right now. We've got tons more to look at in hydro.
Yep. And that ceramic metal halide I was talking about too is a nice little gap, bridges the gap between your high intensity lighting and your LED in terms of cost and power
the cost
savings.
Thing too. So these ones are more expensive, but these ones, and they last longer, so I guess it depends on what you're growing, I guess.
Yeah,
if you
and
have
how
just a
committed
house
you
plant.
are.
Yeah, if you have just a house plant, you can probably get away with just one of the little bulbs that screws into your socket. But if you're actually trying to come up with any kind of crop, then the LED is probably a better way to go. And when it comes
LED or high intensity,
yeah. And when it comes down to like electricity intake as well, you'll save more on your power bill kind of thing if you're concerned about that with an LED versus one of these ones, right?
Yeah. Okay. Now, to be clear too, it only costs, to run 1,000 watt bulb for it, about $25 a month.
Okay.
Roughly.
Okay.
I could be corrected. But yeah, roughly. So it's, a single 1,000 watt bulb isn't going to break the bank either, but this can definitely save.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. And that's it. So come on in. There's way more to talk about when we talk about light. We're probably going to do more videos, but if you can't wait, come on in, talk to us. We're happy to help with any step along the way and have pretty much everything you're going to need.
Looks like.
Awesome.